Let me turn the light on for a minute.
How was your Christmas trip?
Good. How was yours?
It was pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine was small. Not a lot, but that small Christmas can be more meaningful.
What'd you get?
Well, I'll tell you what I needed to get, Ellis, was all new clothes, but
Where did you shop?
Walmart online. Walmart.com.
My mom got this sweatsuit and we took it to Lululemon.
From where?
From Walmart? Yes.
There's some nice clothes at Walmart.
Wait, I want to get one. Are they like in store?
All right. So, hope all of you had a good Christmas. And the thing about not having Minimester is that, well, we kind of got behind a little bit because of the first. You guys remember back at the beginning of the year we did the hybrid thing? Yeah. And so we kind of fell behind. I think most classes probably are not quite where they were normally that semester because we were kind of moving at half pace with the class because I had half the class and half the class. But this chapter, I want to say it's a bit of a review, but it's because we really covered a lot of things already in this chapter. But it's about the two tenses we ended with, the simple past and the past perfect tense. And so it does review that, and then it talks about when to use, one as opposed to the other. And then also some other things that I also already talked about with you guys, and I think it might have even been on the test. What is when you have verbs that have a separable prefix, like let's say ausgehen. Well, gehen's to go, aus is out, so ausgehen's to go out. Ausgehen. But what happens when this is like we have gone out, and that would be aus. You guys remember this? Gegangen. So we really already talked about this, and there's so you gehen becomes gegangen, and you just put aus on the beginning. That's all you have to do. If it was a regular verb, let me think of one real quickly, like einkaufen. Well, kaufen's to buy, but einkaufen, you know what that means? Einkaufen? Kaufen's to buy, but einkaufen changes it a little bit. Einkaufen means to shop. To shop. So, since kaufen's a regular verb, guys, girls, since kaufen's a regular verb, einkaufen becomes eingekauft. Just like kaufen becomes gekauft, but if it's to shop, we have shopped all day, eingekauft. So that's part of the new stuff, but that's not even new though, really. And then on page 97, there's a handful of verbs there that have what generally I think they call them are called inseparable prefixes, which is just, I think that's too much. But anyway, like verbs like, I'll pick one out of the list here, that we know, like besuchen, to visit, besuchen. And this is the inseparable prefix they're talking about. The BE, there's ENT, ER, there's a couple of other prefixes like that don't come off the verb. They don't go to the end of the sentence when they're used normally. And all we do with these is put a T on the end most of the time. Besuchen, the past participle is besucht. Yeah, so you say, ich habe meine Familie, let's say over Christmas time, meine Familie nicht besucht. I didn't visit my family over Christmas, yeah? Guys, up here, please. Ich habe meine Familie nicht besucht. That's the past participle. Just put a T on the end. You don't say besucht or anything like that. Just besucht. Good. So there's a list of those on 797 that are. I don't think we talked about very many of those. I think we might have had one or two in the vocab list, but not in any detail. Okay, so that's the two grammar things. So I'm not thinking we're going to spend a whole lot of time in this chapter, really.
Are we going to sell quizzes every Friday?
Yes.
Yay!
And but there is other material, of course, in the chapter, not just.
I love Jordan.
All right, thank you. Love quizzes.
He told us to be more enthusiastic last semester.
Right, I did. That's true. There's more information. There's more stuff in the chapter. Of course, we'll talk about just beyond this stuff. If you have your books, please, on 99 und 91, 90 und 1, I'll give you a minute to get on the computer on that page, please. 90 und 91.
Can we have page 15? Because my computer only works if it's plugged in. And she's
Um,
plugged in.
Okay, yes. I guess it won't really affect anything as far as,
Do you think
unless you were to infect Graham. Remind me to change, are you going to change this permanently?
No, just for today.
Oh, just for today, okay.
But it's a, me and Peg don't do it right now, so it's okay.
90 and 91, 90, 91. On page 90, there's a longer article about, well, the title of the article is Haushaltsgeräte, which you look at the little degree symbol off to the right, what does that mean below? Haushaltsgeräte. Appliances, right? Yeah, Haushalt, by the way, means household. Household. You can almost see the word in there. Household. And then Geräte has to do with electronics or some kind of gadget or something like that. Geräte. And so the three that they focus on, which are all German inventions or come from German-speaking countries, are the, you know these things? The thermos. Before there was Yeti, there was thermos. You know this it's a brand name. You know this thing? Thermos. What's it? Thermos. You know this word?
Yeah,
Yeah, you put like soup in there.
Right. Or something cold too, right?
yeah, like noodles.
But something cold. Like cold noodles, right? Or something with ice in it, like, you know, a drink or something. But it's kind of this was around a long time before Yeti. I think Yeti kind of upped the game on this and other similar brands.
How many Yeti thermos?
But see, that's the thing. That's when you know you've really made it, like with a product, when the name of the company becomes the name of the product, right? Like Crayolas, right? Or Kleenex.
Or phones.
Huh?
Or phones. That's not.
Phone.
Let's ignore it. Or like Apple.
I mean, like but no, that could happen eventually. But the name of the product becomes what we call everything like that, right? So, like you might like you said, Yeti thermos, right? But Yeti wouldn't like you to use that. The thermos is their competitor. You know, that's who they. All right, but anyway, but the in German, of course, thermos is how it's pronounced, and it's a German invention. I think it's
Like an extra marker. Like they're not all extra.
exactly. So we like to say Expo. Like Crayola crayons, right? That's is that it? Or that's the brand name, and you might say, but Expo, right? An Expo marker,
It's like not always.
right? Because there are other brands of markers too, right? We don't use them here, but I don't know their names, but right. And like tissue, but the brand name Kleenex, though,
Yeah.
that's a brand name. That's not a noun. Well, it is a noun, but it's not a thing. It's actually a brand name. Kleenex. If you look closely, Kleenex tissue. Okay, thermos got that same thing. The thermos is a thing, but it's also the brand name. And Yeti's done this also, right? A Yeti, we just all know what it is by the name of of course, Yeti makes coolers and all kinds of stuff too, but usually we're talking about cups, right? We're talking about
Polo shirt.
polo, right. So like you wear a polo.
Yeah. But it's not.
It sounds weird because that's a game also, but it's also a part of a line of clothing by Ralph Lauren, right? That's right. So is there still a polo store in the mall in Utica Square? Ralph?
No, I haven't.
Like seems like a lot of the high-end places have kind of gone out.
I was
Not all of them, I mean, but like there was a Brooks Brothers over there that went out, and then I didn't know if Polo still made it. Okay, but the thermos, that became popular, and it was actually, yeah, that's another good example. Coke, because we say, especially in this part of the country, we'll say that meaning any kind of soft drink, right?
Yeah, okay.
Right, but if you go to the East Coast, though, and say that, they'll give you a Coke.
Yeah.
Like the brand, Coca-Cola. But they say soda or pop or something like that up there. And that's the general word. But here, a lot of people say Coke, and they mean, that could be Sprite, 7-Up, that could be Dr. Pepper. You want a Coke to drink? What do you want? Huh?
Clorox.
Clorox, yeah. Yeah.
love these.
No, I do too. I think, but that's as far as branding goes, and even before there was the word branding, we talk about companies getting.
Band-Aid.
Band-Aid's a perfect example. No, it's a good example. Before there was branding, this is how you knew you really made it, is when people called other people's products by your name. So even when they talk about another brand of bandages and they call it a Band-Aid, you're getting a little bit of advertising in a way, So anyway, all right. The other one, seems like a small invention, but those of you who are addicts, like myself maybe, will to this particular product. Look, the next one, ready? No. Coffee filter.
Coffee.
Coffee filter is the next invention. And the coffee filter, I'm looking here, I believe it's a German invention too. And so the paper filter, right, that I don't know if you guys use these at home, but even coffee, no matter how it's being made, it has to be filtered somehow. It may be through a metal filter of some sort. It may be through porous kind of plastic or something, but not that long ago, all filtered coffee was made with the paper filters. But the paper filter in the thing, you pour the coffee grounds in the filter, the water goes through, it filters through the paper, and you get coffee. But that was a big invention, though. Before that, it was all done like with a kind of a strainer type thing, and it didn't. Sometimes you got some chunky coffee. Sometimes little crunchy coffee. Yeah, and the last one, I don't know if you can follow these bold-faced words on page 90, is the Nähmaschine. And nähen is the verb to sew. What's a Nähmaschine? Sewing machine. And that, the Nähmaschine, I want to say that's a Swiss one, but I could be wrong. Yes, it is a Swiss one. And the first Nähmaschine, the company is still in existence. It's a rather expensive brand, is Bernina. I don't know if you know that name. Anyone sew at all? Bernina is we think about the Singer Corporation here in the United States. That's an American company, but they came later to the table. But Bernina made an automatic sewing machine. Can I tell you guys a story real quick?
Sure, of course.
Maybe I'll shut off the live feed just for a little bit.
So what?
Maybe I'll shut down the live feed just for. We're gonna take a break. All right, everybody. So just.
This is a light.